All right, welcome to Only Advice. My name is Husseini, and today we're going to talk about Adam Johnson. He's the hockey player who died after being struck by an opposing team member's blade. It struck him on the neck, it cut his throat, and he bled out, and he died. So we're going to talk about how that happened. And guys, everyone's calling this a freak accident. The news is calling this a freak accident. The NHL is calling this a freak accident, but it may not be that simple because this looks deliberate. Let's take a look.
Detectives are looking into the circumstances surrounding the death of Adam Johnson. The American ice hockey player died on October 28th while playing for the British professional club Nottingham Panthers after a quote freak accident. According to footage of the incident, the 29-year-old suffered an injury to his neck after a collision with a player on the opposing team, the Sheffield Steelers. As Johnson's loved ones continue to mourn his passing,
The player from the Sheffield Steelers that actually cut his neck, that killed Adam, his name is Matt Petgrave, and we're going to get into him here in a little bit.
authorities confirm they've launched an investigation. An October 31st statement from South Yorkshire Police reads, since Saturday, detectives have been carrying out a range of inquiries, including reviewing footage, talking to witnesses, and seeking the advice and support of highly specialized experts to seek to understand the circumstances surrounding what happened.
And we'll get into what happened exactly as well. But just FYI, guys, anytime there's somebody that died, no matter what happens, the police is going to investigate. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person involved or around the death is guilty or even a suspect, but the police do have to do their due diligence. So if someone dies, they will investigate, especially if it's, death by accident or violence or drugs or something like that, right? So that's just protocol.
As with all unexpected and sudden deaths, it is
There
standard
you
practice for police to investigate the circumstances fully and feed back our
go.
findings to HM Coroner. Our officers have now left the scene. However, due to the complex nature of this tragic and unprecedented incident, it is likely the wider investigation will take some time.
Okay, so what we should see if this was an accident is Matt Petgrave skating around and he's trying to defend the puck and he bumps into somebody, loses control, falls down. Adam Johnson is nearby, and somehow the blade goes and hits Adam Johnson and he gets cut. And it's a horrible scene, but it's an accident and it's obvious, right? That's what we should see. But let's take a look at the video and let me know what you think because it definitely does not look like that. Okay, so here we go. And don't worry, guys, this doesn't get gruesome. It just shows the moment of impact. I'm not showing the whole video. The whole video is quite disturbing. But this is not it. This is just moment of impact. So here we go. So keep your eye on this guy right over here in the red. Okay. Standing next to this other dude. This is Adam Johnson over here, right on the blue line in front of the referee. Oh, okay. So let's watch that again. Okay. So you see, it's not as simple as I described it, right? I'm going to play it in slow motion. And what you do is you see right here, Matt Petgrave is against this blocker, okay, in the white uniform. And he almost like pushes past him. But while he's in the process of trying to push past this guy, he loses balance. But what I don't get is you see him right there. It almost looks like he pushed his leg against Adam Johnson and it happened to be on his neck, right? The thing that really kind of disturbs me is that it seems intentional. It seems like he lifted his leg high enough to aim at his face or his neck, knowing that that's where it was going to be at, right? So I'm going to show it one last time. Pay attention to his leg going up before impact. It's not like he loses control and his leg just happens to go up. It's almost like he aims his leg up to Johnson's neck, face area, and almost even pushes off Johnson's body using his leg, which happens to be connected to a blade. You're playing hockey. Boom. Look at that. Terrible. Terrible. That's hard to watch. So, okay. So that's the video. All right. So before I talk about why I think this was a deliberate hit on Adam Johnson, I do want to make clear there have been accidents like this before in hockey. This isn't the first time someone's got their neck cut by a blade. Richard Zednik was a player back in the day who had the same thing happen to him, but the the video did not look as intentional as it did with Matt Petgrave and Adam Johnson. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the video for Richard Zednik. Like I said, he had his throat cut by a blade. But watch this video and notice the differences. Okay, mostly how this seems like an accident. It doesn't seem deliberate. He's number 20, by the way. So he's right over here. Okay. Collides, jumps over, gets his neck cut.
Oh boy, Zednik! Oh my goodness!
Oh my God, it's waiting bad.
Richard Zednik
Gets up.
wide open. Oh my God! Well, folks, this is ugly. Richard Zednik is cut wide open.
You know what?
Okay, so that actually looked like an accident. Okay, so what happened was a teammate fell. Richard Zednik, jumps over, and the guy who's on the floor, the blade happens to hit him in the neck. Right here, watch.
There's a hit by Jokic
Right
on
there.
MacArthur. Oh boy,
Okay.
Zednik! Oh my!
So he falls, his neck cuts up against the blade. That looks like a total accident. What we saw with Matt Petgrave, however, did not look like an accident. It looked like somebody taking advantage of a situation and purposefully kicking somebody. And look, guys, there's some people who can't even get a kick in without any shoes on, without any weight. These guys are wearing gears, or wearing gear rather. And to be able to lift your leg up over shoulder length for somebody, right above their shoulders, and kick them in the neck, you gotta know the implications of that as a grown man. I mean, if I kick somebody in the neck with a blade, they're most likely gonna die. I mean, there's a slim possibility someone could survive that because of the blood loss. So that's why people are saying that they think this was not an accident, but it's a small group of people saying that. Majority, including the league and newscasters, they're posing this as accident. I will say there's one guy who's an ex NHL player, a former NHL player. He's a veteran. His name is Sean Avery. He played for New York. And let's listen to an interview that he did on Fox 5, which I thought was kind of
interesting.
interesting.
On ice this weekend, former NHL player Adam Johnson died during a game after an opponent kicked him in the neck with the blade of his skate. This was during an English Hockey League game.
I'm not a big fan of Jesse Waters, but he definitely knows how to rile people up. And hey, you know what? What he's saying right here is it's not too off. Okay, this could be considered manslaughter. I don't know about murder. That's going to depend on the investigation that's going on. But let's keep going.
Matt Petgrave skated towards Johnson, lifted his leg, slicing Johnson's throat on the ice. Johnson skated off with blood streaming from his neck and was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. Petgrave, the guy who kicked him, is a dirty player. He's a Canadian, and he was the most penalized player in the league last year.
Most penalized player in the league last year. Wow, did not know that.
Team called the play a freak accident, but English police are investigating what looks like a murder on the ice. Let's ask former NHL star Sean Avery. Well, to me, Sean, it looks like homicide. What does it look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty dangerous word to be thrown around. I think so I've watched it. It's terrible. It's tough to watch. Did this kid make a movement that was very unorthodox? Do I think that he was trying to make contact of some sort? Absolutely. Do I think that he woke up and said, I'm going to murder somebody today? No.
Okay, so Sean Avery just said, if you heard him, he said, was this kid trying to make contact of some sort? Now, the answer to that is yes, because Adam Johnson had the puck, right? In hockey, you want to, the goal is to get the puck and put it through the net, you get some points. That's hockey. Okay. So he's obviously trying to make contact, but I don't think he means that in a general way. I think Sean Avery is really saying that Matt Petgrave was targeting Adam Johnson in a specific way in order to hurt him.
I want everybody to be very careful, and I want you to understand one thing. The technology in our skates over the last 20 years, it's incredible. It's a tight.
Okay, so Sean Avery just goes on to talk about how the skates are more dangerous. They're titanium based. They're not steel anymore. But the main point of this conversation, this interview, was to outline what Avery said about Matt's intention. Okay, so if you have somebody that is purposefully trying to make contact, you have somebody that's putting in the effort to lift up their leg towards somebody's neck. And you also heard Sean Avery talk about how this was a very unorthodox move. The reason why he's saying that, guys, is because in hockey, you have pushing, you have shoving, you have fists. You got people punching the shit out of each other. People lose teeth. People break nose bones. That's just how hockey is. This is a very peculiar, unorthodox, strange move in the sense that, this guy straight up, just kicked the shit out of somebody's face in reality. And for you to say that's an accident or it was done by mistake, it takes too much effort to do that. A mistake would be like the video we saw with Richard Zednick, where people are falling and, limbs are kind of going all around and a blade happens to cut somebody. And there have been instances in hockey where people get cut on their wrists, on their ankles, really unprotected areas. They do happen to get cut in hockey. It doesn't happen a lot. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So, but this is a full on kick. So I'm not buying the whole, this was an accident. I don't know if Matt Petgrave thought that he would kill somebody that night, but I think he did want to inflict a lot of damage. And you know what? For someone to be the most penalized player on a league, not a team. Notice they didn't say a team. He's not the most penalized person on the team. He's the most penalized player on the league, in the league. That just shows a type of aggression. In hockey, you have enforcers. Those are players that enforce physical play. So he was one of those position players, but yeah, I'm just not buying the accident narrative. So drop a comment. Let us know what you think. Thanks for watching. This is only advice. And I guess the advice for today is wear a neck guard, wear your gear, especially if you're doing something like hockey or football or baseball. I ride motorcycles. You'll see the helmet in the back. Gear up. They always say dress for the ride, not the slide. So be safe out there, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. See you next time. Bye.